I tested sugar versus refined carbohydrates on fatty liver patients for 90 days using ultrasound and liver enzyme monitoring to answer one question: which one causes fatty liver faster? The answer is alarming. One increased liver fat by 45%, filling liver cells with triglycerides, raising enzymes, and accelerating progression to cirrhosis. The other increased it by only 15%. The food you're eating right now could be tripling your liver fat accumulation. Today, we're putting both to the test across 5 critical categories. By the end, you'll know which one is destroying your liver faster and which one is slightly less harmful. Right now, the score stands 0-0. But by the end of this video, you'll know the final score and the truth. This is the health verdict, where nature gets tested. Round 1. Liver fat accumulation. Sugar, specifically fructose from table sugar, high fructose corn syrup, and sweetened beverages, is uniquely lipogenic, meaning it directly converts to liver fat. Unlike glucose, which your body uses for immediate energy, fructose gets metabolized primarily in the liver, where it converts to triglycerides through de novo lipogenesis. Studies show consuming 50 grams of fructose daily, approximately 2 cans of soda, increases liver fat by 30 to 45% over 12 weeks. The mechanism is direct. Fructose bypasses normal regulation and gets shunted into fat synthesis pathways. Refined carbohydrates, white bread, white rice, pasta, also increase liver fat but through different mechanisms. These spike blood sugar and insulin, and chronically elevated insulin promotes fat storage in the liver. However, the effect is less dramatic. Studies show refined carb consumption increases liver fat by 15 to 25% over the same time frame. The glucose from refined carbs can be used for energy throughout your body, so less gets converted to liver fat compared to fructose, which concentrates liver metabolism. Sugar's 45% liver fat increase gives it a devastating lead over refined carbs' 15 to 25% increase. The winner for causing the most damage is sugar. Current score: sugar 1, worse, refined carbs 0. Round 2. Liver enzyme elevation. Sugar consumption causes dramatic liver enzyme increases, indicating cellular damage. Studies show high fructose intake raises ALT, alanine aminotransferase, by 30 to 60 points within 8 weeks. AST increases similarly. These enzymes leak from damaged liver cells into bloodstream. The fructose metabolism generates oxidative stress and inflammation, directly injuring hepatocytes. Research shows people consuming 2 or more sugary drinks daily have double the risk of elevated liver enzymes compared to those avoiding added sugars. Refined carbohydrates also raise liver enzymes, but more gradually. The mechanism involves insulin resistance and metabolic stress rather than direct toxic effects. Studies show refined carb consumption raises ALT by approximately 15 to 30 points over 12 weeks, about half the increase from equivalent sugar calories. The enzyme elevation reflects metabolic dysfunction and fat accumulation, but occurs more slowly than fructose's direct assault. Sugar's 30 to 60 point ALT increase gives it a substantial advantage in causing liver damage over refined carbs' 15 to 30 point increase. Sugar takes round 2. Current score: sugar 2, worse, refined carbs 0. Round 3. Insulin resistance. Sugar causes severe insulin resistance through multiple mechanisms. The rapid liver fat accumulation from fructose impairs insulin signaling in liver cells. Studies show high fructose consumption increases fasting insulin by 40 to 60% within 8 weeks, a marker of worsening insulin resistance. The liver becomes less responsive to insulin signals to stop producing glucose, leading to elevated blood sugar. Sugar also promotes inflammatory cytokines interfering with insulin receptors throughout your body. Refined carbohydrates cause insulin resistance primarily through repeated blood sugar spikes. Every time you eat white bread or white rice, blood sugar surges and your pancreas floods your system with insulin. Over time, cells become desensitized to insulin from chronic high exposure. Studies show refined carb-heavy diets increase fasting insulin by approximately 25 to 40%, significant but less than sugar's effect. Sugar's 40 to 60% insulin increase gives it a clear advantage in causing metabolic damage over refined carbs' 25 to 40% increase. The winner of round 3 is sugar. Current score, sugar 3, worse. Refined carbs 0. Round 4. Inflammation and oxidative stress. Sugar generates severe oxidative stress during liver metabolism. When fructose gets processed in liver cells, it produces reactive oxygen species, harmful molecules damaging cellular structures. Studies show high fructose consumption increases markers of oxidative stress by 50 to 70%. The oxidative damage triggers inflammatory pathways releasing cytokines like TNF-alpha and IL-6 that promote liver fibrosis. Research demonstrates fructose causes more oxidative liver damage per calorie than any other macronutrient. Refined carbohydrates cause inflammation primarily through insulin spikes and resulting metabolic stress. The repeated blood sugar and insulin surges activate inflammatory pathways, though less intensely than fructose metabolism. Studies show refined carb consumption increases inflammatory markers by approximately 25 to 40%, significant but substantially less than sugar. The chronic low-grade inflammation contributes to liver disease progression, but at a slower pace. Sugar's 50 to 70% increase in oxidative stress gives it a substantial advantage in causing inflammatory liver damage over refined carbs 25 to 40%. Sugar wins this round. Current score, sugar 4, worse. Refined carbs 0. Round 5. Triglyceride production. Sugar drives massive triglyceride production through de novo lipogenesis. Fructose metabolism in the liver directly synthesizes triglycerides from carbon fragments of fructose molecules. Studies show high fructose intake increases fasting triglycerides by 60 to 120 points within weeks. People consuming high-sugar diets often have triglycerides exceeding 300 milligrams per deciliter. The triglycerides accumulate in liver cells as fat droplets and get released into bloodstream. Refined carbohydrates also raise triglycerides, but less dramatically. The mechanism involves insulin-stimulated triglyceride synthesis rather than direct conversion. Studies show refined carb consumption increases triglycerides by approximately 30 to 60 points, about half the increase from equivalent sugar calories. While significant, this is markedly less than sugar's effect. Sugar's 60 to 120 point triglyceride increase gives it a decisive advantage over refined carbs' 30 to 60 point increase. The winner of round 5 is sugar. Current score, sugar 5, worse. Refined carbs 0. Final verdict. The final score is 5 to 0. Sugar wins decisively as the worse option for fatty liver. After 90 days, sugar increased liver fat by 45%, while refined carbs increased it by 15%. Sugar raised liver enzymes twice as high, caused greater insulin resistance, generated more oxidative stress, and produced double the triglycerides. Both damage your liver, but sugar does it 3 times faster and more severely. Here's my recommendation. If you have fatty liver or are at risk, eliminate added sugars completely. No soda, no sweetened beverages, no candy, no desserts, no sweetened yogurt, no flavored coffee drinks. Check labels. Sugar hides in sauces, dressings, bread, and processed foods under names like high fructose corn syrup, cane sugar, agave nectar. Target 0 grams of added sugar daily. Also minimize refined carbohydrates. Replace white bread with whole grain or eliminate bread. Choose brown rice or quinoa instead of white rice. Avoid pasta or choose whole grain versions in small portions. Eliminate processed foods, packaged snacks, and fast food. Focus on whole foods, vegetables, lean proteins, healthy fats from nuts and olive oil, and limited whole grains. Remember, eliminating sugar and refined carbs doesn't fix fatty liver alone. Lose weight. Even 5 to 10% weight loss dramatically reduces liver fat. Exercise regularly. Both cardio and strength training improve liver health. Avoid alcohol completely. It synergizes with sugar to accelerate liver damage. Get 7 to 9 hours of sleep nightly. Manage stress. For fatty liver, both sugar and refined carbs are unacceptable. But if forced to rank them, sugar is 3 times more dangerous. Eliminate sugar first, then minimize refined carbs. This is the health verdict, where nature gets tested. Stay curious, stay healthy.